We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Wild Bill Kelso here, and I have a special treat for you all in this video. Last week, myself and over 100 other World War II reenactors descended upon the National Museum of the United States Air Force for the unveiling of the legendary B-17F Memphis Belle. Yes, the actual Memphis Belle. After a long restoration lasting over a decade, the Memphis Belle has finally been completed and is now on permanent display inside the museum's World War II gallery. And from what you can tell by the video that I shot, she is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, they did a really magnificent job on her. What you're watching right now is the ribbon cutting ceremony. So right now I'm going to go ahead and shut up so that way we can all listen to what is being said.
I want to thank the staff of the National Museum of the United States Air Force for this aircraft restoration, for their leadership and vision to make history real here. The exhibit is exquisite. This is not just about a platform or an aircraft. This is about a story of American Airmen and the story of America. So I ask that you take a look at some of the detailed exhibit pieces around.
As mentioned, the weather has turned favorable for us to get B-17s and other aircraft back on the runway through the bus service that we have departing from the museum to take you back there. So that's a great thing. We've got lots of other things going on up this way outdoors and all the way back to the fourth building. And I'm sure to experience all that while you are here today. So, special thanks to all of our young people who are going to help us cut the ribbon.
Would all of our ribbon cutting participants please make their way toward the stage and take their place behind the ribbon? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to open the long-awaited Memphis Belle and Strategic Bombing exhibit. I will count to 3, and then everyone will cut the ribbon together on the word cut. Ready? 1, 2, 3, cut!
And there she is, closer. They did an amazing job on her.
All the way up to the hangar door.
Here's the other side. You notice on the port side of the fuselage, the bathing suit is blue, but on the starboard side, the bathing suit is red. Right, and here's the midsection of the fuselage. There you have the turret, top turret. You have the starboard waist gun. And here you have horizontal and vertical stabilizers. Here's the elevators, the trim tabs. Right there you have the ball turret. If you look, the bomb bay, right there.
Right, there's the port side of the fuselage and tail. Here's a good view of the tail gunner's position for you. The vertical and horizontal stabilizers, the elevators, and the rudder. Good view of the back view of the plane. I'll show you guys the bomb bay. Here we have the ball turret. And over here is the bomb bay.
That's cool. That's like
Rennis started out in the Belle, the first 5 missions, he was the co-pilot. But he only flew 5 missions, but he was selected as the co-pilot.
Strange things happen. Yeah. When the war ended, when I was over there.
Alright, so right here we have a display of two different types of flak helmets. You got the M4A2 right here, which was introduced in 1944. Over here you got the M3 flak helmet, and this one's actually seen some combat.
I'll try to keep it up. I have 3 more days of this, so.
And here's a German bomber crewman's helmet. And here we have the good trusty old flak vest. The M1 vest and the M3 apron.
So like every artifact you see in the exhibit had some nature conservation done to it. Whether it was steaming it or polishing it or just a whole plethora of things that we do.
This man was incredible. This is Howard Hunt. Howard was a ferry pilot in the Army Air Forces during World War II, and he actually flew the Memphis Belle for 10 days during its war bond tour in 1943, which makes him the last living World War II veteran to have actually flown the Memphis Belle during the war. So let's take a listen to hear what he has to say.
And he wasn't impressed. He said, "Oh, a lot of pilots have flown the airplane." But he's dead now. He's been dead for about 7 years, I think.
Wow. And so what other aircraft did you fly?
Well, you name it. I just put everything in inventory because he was very pilot.
The C-46 Commando, the C-47?
C-47, B-39, B-63, A-20, B-25, C-47.
And so where'd you ferry them, over the Atlantic or the Pacific mostly?
Most of my ferry jobs were taking airplanes to the Russians at Latfield, Fairbanks.
Oh, really?
Russian pilots picked them up from there.
And what'd you think of the Russians?
They really appreciated it. I mean, when we have a parade where it's so ho-hum, but when they have a parade, everybody turns out. They really appreciated our efforts in helping them win the war. They were about to lose, and when we come in, why, they were real happy. And I've been to Russia, and they treated us like a VIP.
And so what was your, of all the airplanes you've flown, which one was your favorite?
I'll have to say the B-17.
The 17?
I'm just a 21-year-old kid, and I'm a plane commander. I'm a big shot. I mean.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Hunt. Thank you.
Yeah.
So today we're here with Fred Phillips of the 99th Bomb Group. So Fred, you were with the 99th Bomb Group in Italy, right?
Right.
And how many missions did you fly?
29.
And what was your position on the B-17?
As chief bomber gunner and right gun.
So can you describe for us what happened when you flew over Ploiești?
We were shot up 213 holes.
Wow.
Come across the Alps at 275 feet.
And what did you think of the B-17?
Pardon?
What did you think of the B-17?
I think it's a tough old baby.
And how old are you right now?
94.
And you're still young.
Still young. Do my gardening, got a lawn and all.
All right, well, thank you so much, Fred.
You're quite welcome. God bless.
Trust me, guys, there's a lot more interviews where those two came from. As much as I would love to show you guys in this video the interior of the World War II gallery and the rest of the museum, that's all being saved for a later video. Right now I'm going to take you guys outside and show you the encampment where all us World War II reenactors camped by the 8th Air Force Control Tower and Nissan huts, as well as some of the airplanes that were parked outside on the flight line in front of the museum. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look.
Right here we got the famous Joe Hannon walking by.
How's it going?
Joe, say hello to YouTube.
Hi YouTube, how you doing? Any questions? Would you like to know anything?
Ah.
Looks like a little bit of overcast. Captain Elliott's crew.
It's Yankee Lady.
Let's see. It's a little overcast or
Yankee Lady. That's Yankee Lady. I recognize that polished shine anywhere.
got the L in the red tail. It's G-O. Last year, they used to give us more tickets.
She found this in somebody's garage.
Yes. Somebody that actually took it home from.
Right, so here we are on top of the control tower. So here we are inside the control tower.
This is the main control room. You just have a bunch of radios, command equipment, so on, so on. Telephones right there. Base telephone, air ministry, fighter command. Large map right there, mission for the day. You see the tapes right there. Here we got a diorama of a typical 8th Air Force bomber base. There's another private room. Forward, original checker set right there. Yeah, this is the upper level. Here you go where the weather officer would be. Weather instrument shelter.
It's a pretty neat story. It is cool. The airplane landed, they call it cornfield farmer.
Here's the weather recorder's room.
Well, I was going to bring this stuff up for the reunion. I'm going to send it to you.
This is where the meteorologists assigned to the group would help get their weather forecasts, figure out what the weather for the day for the mission was going to be.
For 954 pictures.
Just another personal room. This is interesting. We got some original walls from some of the original control towers in England. Got their names on them.
Both the guys over there, Matt Smith and Kevin.
We go into this room right here. Just a regular room. Some more clipboards. So yeah, this is the control tower. Let's go see what's outside. Alright, so here outside in our camp, there's the famous Adam Walker right there. Adam, say hello to YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
It's a nice vintage camera you got right there.
Thank you, man. It's a pay top dollar from a Sears a robot.
So this is the Army Air Force camp right here.
Is your bike?
It is.
Is that a Columbia? Or
It is a
that
Dayton
Schwinn?
Huffman.
What?
It's a Dayton Huffman.
Okay.
Original Dayton Huffman bike, and there's Casey Asher right there. Casey, say hello to YouTube.
Hi.
Gettysburg battles.
Here's one of the tents we use for all our stuff. Sleeping bag, foot lockers, cots, to keep all our gear. Yeah, we really do pay attention to detail, making sure we get everything right. There's another tent, more gear in it. For other guys. Here's our RAF liaison officer right here. Say hello to YouTube.
I'm Uncle Scotty. I was formerly with the Canadian Air Force Group, but I'm a penguin now. That means I have wings, but I can't fly.
Say hi to YouTube, guys.
Hey, guys. It's break time.
Break dance.
Some more tents right here. Here's one guy's original Blue Bunny suit, electrically heated flying suit, used by bomber crews during World War II. So yeah, this is our home away from home for the next couple days. Here's the command tent. Go in here real quick. Yeah, the Airmen's Preservation Society, we don't screw around. Some flight jackets, shirts. So yeah, let's go take a look at what all the other camps are like.
Stuff. Yeah, did you use that style?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And this is one under my chin.
Yep.
Today's the 75th anniversary. Probably 2 years after I got home, so I had whiskers in my wrist.
Oh, really? Yeah, because they wear it off.
Yep.
Did you have these at any point in time? These are an odd duck. Variable density goggles.
I had a pair of goggles with dark lens in them.
Probably the B8 looks like a P47 pilot type style. I have the earlier style here. That's that style, and that would be much earlier with the split. And let's see, what else do we got? So you wouldn't have used the face mask. Did you use a comb? Okay. That B8, that's a reproduction. We got
wore these when we went out to clean the guns or whatever.
Yeah. That's my brother's one. That's a reproduction, but it's a pretty good company. We got these nylon type deals. I don't know if you guys wore those or the green ones.
Well, we had silk inserts.
Okay.
And they're regular heavy.
We got various gloves here.
We've got those are more like English style. Some guys traded for those. We've got these unique style. That's pretty fun. And see where they are. Good. We've got the regular style.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And these, which may be electric. Yeah, no electric.
Yeah.
The
You
guys
wore-
over there have the blue bunny style.
You wore electric gloves?
Escaped, evaded, and made it back to their home base on foot.
Okay, a couple things I missed that are really charismatic as far as the 8th Air Force and in specific and Army Air Forces in general, and that is the headgear. We talked about some of the helmets and the like, but you'll also see is some interesting headgear here. The guys were wearing the garrison cap.
I had a young man come into camp and asked if the bombers had bathrooms on them. So no, they did not put bathrooms on them. What they had was what's called a relief tube, if you had to go, or a bucket. But once you were up in the air, you really wanted to get your flight gear off. And using the tube was difficult at best, and a lot of guys would wait and just relieve themselves through the open bomb bay doors. They'd hang in the bomb racks and do it that way. Some of the missions were long, 8 hours, maybe more. So they would bring along sandwiches. They could keep stuff fairly warm in there if it was something warm, and thermoses full of coffee or soup. This would be like the flight crew up front for the pilot, co-pilot, navigator, bombardier, and they could carry a meal in this if they get hungry on the way there or back.
Yeah, a lot of times as far as relieving themselves, they would just go in like empty ammo cans, because they would bring all these, boxes and boxes, metal boxes of rounds of 50 caliber ammunition and belts, and once they were into the wooden boxes, you still have the cans there, so they would use those and they would put them in the bomb bay, and so when it was bombs away, it was quite literally bombs away. Yes, still something extra for Adolf.
And along those lines too.
A couple of the Nissan huts right here. Here's the rest of the camp. Here we got the WACs, Airborne, and the Rangers, Ranger reenactors. These guys are right on the flight line. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
It looks like
Look better when all the displays were out.
Yeah, I know. Didn't have time today.
They'll be out tomorrow.
You can say hi to YouTube while you're at it.
Hi, YouTube. World Star. There goes my job.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the aircraft that were parked on the flight line in front of our camp, and we'll start off with this one. This is the C-130, or more specifically, the AC-130A. The C-130 was originally designed as an assault transport aircraft that was able to take off from unpaved airfields. It made its first flight on August 23rd, 1954, and by 1976, the Air Force had over 1,200 C-130s in its inventory. But 28 C-130s were converted into side-firing gunships, and they became known as AC-130s, and that's what this one is. This is an AC-130A. This one was actually modified right here at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, and this was the prototype version for the gunship, and it was originally equipped with 4 20mm and 4 7.62mm multi-barrel guns, some target sensors, and a searchlight. Eventually, this aircraft was retired, and it arrived at the Air Force Museum in May of 1976. But the Air Force does continue to use AC-130s right to this day. Right. Does anyone know what this is? For those that don't, I'll tell you. This is the EC-135E area. It's actually a Boeing C-135 Stratolifter that was converted into a telemetry and mobile tracking platform that was used to help support the Apollo space program. When it was developed, it was known as the Apollo Range Instrumentation Aircraft, or ARIA for short. Inside the oddly shaped nose that you just saw it's known as the Snoopy nose. Inside it is a 7-foot antenna dish, and that was what was used to help collect things like telemetry data, so on and so forth. A total of 8 EC-135E ARIAs were developed and used from 1968 through to the end of the Apollo space program, and after the space program ended, they continued to be used by the U.S. Air Force all the way to the year 2000, until the fleet was finally retired from active service. And last but not least, we have the C-17 Globemaster. This is the Air Force's newest aircraft that it added to its airlift force. This thing is capable of carrying up to 170,000 pounds of cargo, and that cargo could pretty much be anything. Paratroopers, tanks, Black Hawk helicopters, you name it, this thing can carry it. This C-17 is actually the prototype version. This was designated the T-1, and it was built by Douglas Aircraft Corporation, which is now Boeing. And this thing flew from 1993 up until 2011, when it was retired, and it came to its new home here at the U.S. Air Force Museum. Right, so I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I certainly had a blast while I was at the Air Force Museum for the Memphis Belle unveiling. I'm going to make another video detailing all of the displays and galleries that are inside the Air Force Museum, from World War I all the way through the Cold War till modern day. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all later.